You know, the last time I checked, a woman basically owns her body. I mean, she decides when she wants to have sex, when she doesn't want to have sex. I mean, that's just the nature of the species. That's the way it's been for thousands of years. I mean, she basically has the eggs, and she decides when she wants to have the eggs fertilized and by who. It's her body. She can decide whether she wants to have an abortion for health reasons or whatever reason she wants. A woman's body is her body. Who is a government or some male domineering politician, conservative fuck, to decide what she can do with her body? It's her right. It's her body. She was born with that body. She can put on makeup. She cannot put on makeup. She can do whatever she wants. She's a free being in our world. And that comes to the point of what I'm going to discuss about this. Is she has the right to make money off her body if she wants. Just like if I want to make money off my body by doing labor work for a company, acting in a film, doing voiceover work, painting somebody's house, cleaning somebody's house, you know, whatever I want to do with my body to make money is my choice. But who are these male domineering idiots to decide whether she can sell her body for prostitution or not? Who are they? It's her body. She's a woman. She has control over her body. Who are we as male domineering figures to say that she cannot make money off of her body with prostitution? We're nobody. We don't have a say in it. She has the right. And that's where this world is primitive. I mean, back in the day, you know, for thousands of years, women have been able to sell their bodies for prostitution, to make monies to eat, to make monies for her family, to provide for her family and her kids, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. That is a profession that she may or may not choose, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's just a bunch of weirdos that don't understand the human animal, that, you know, a woman's body is a commodity and they're beautiful, you know, to be able to make money off of. And she has that right. If she wants to be a model, an actress, a housewife, a prostitute, whatever she wants to do with her body is her choice. And who are we, the male-dominated whatevers, to make that decision for? It's totally ludicrous. So you can tell what I'm getting at is I think the woman of the world, all women, should have the right to be entrepreneurs and sell their body if they wish. Just like I have the right to be a slave for a company and do labor work for 20 years. I mean, I have that right too. She should have that right to sell her body. And if she can legally do it, she can develop a clientele with reliable references and deal with people that are safe for her and that won't harm her, so she can sell her body in a safe, regulated environment. And she can be straight up about her testing on STDs and all of that stuff, you know, and prostitution should just be legal. And I mean, maybe in 1,000 years they'll finally wake up that it has been. I mean, if you want to get religious, even Jesus Christ was overjoyed by the prostitute that put oil on his feet and anointed him and respected him when other people didn't at the time. And Jesus had respect for the prostitute, if you want to get religious about it. You know, so this primitive, having a woman not having the right to sell her body, is very controlling, and it's illegal. And the stigma behind it. I've met prostitutes. To be honest, I have friends of mine that buy prostitutes, and to be honest, I've bought a prostitute once. It was at the Mustang Ranch in Nevada, and it was kind of a trivial thing, a nostalgic thing, a tourist thing, is why I did it. But I think a woman should have that right, and she's fully entitled to it. And I don't necessarily buy prostitutes myself, but I think that it should be legal. You know, and I've met guys that got into trouble, and they had to go through legal things, and they were punished like criminals for having sex with these prostitutes, which is a natural, instinctual male urge. I mean, us males basically have a very strong sexual desire. This is instinct to reproduce, to fertilize the eggs. That's the bottom line. I mean, we're driven relentlessly to reproduce. So if we can legally do it in a controlled environment where we're not going to get the woman pregnant, and we're not going to hurt her, and we're going to get her sexual release, you know, I don't see any problem with it from a male point of view. You know, so I think a woman has every right, and I think that prostitution should be legal. Now, I've met prostitutes. I've had girlfriends that turned prostitutes and went back. And I've met prostitutes throughout my life. And they're just people like anybody else. I mean, some prostitutes I've met were just girls that were trying to support their kids, and they weren't making enough of money on welfare, and they were trying to support their family, you know? And that's just a job like anybody trying to support their family. You know, and I've met prostitutes that were legal in every way, shape, and form other than they're prostitutes. And I've met prostitutes that were artists and were highly intelligent people. You know, and that's all they are, is just people. They're just women that want to make money that way. And who's to blame them if they can make money that way? I mean, it's like if I develop a special semiconductor and I have a patent on it, don't I have the right to sell that and make money? You know, and genetically with the human animal, the woman's body is a commodity. That's just the way it is, you know, if you really want to look at it. And she should have every right to sell that body and do whatever she wants with her body. And it's just a stigma that these religious people put on it, that there's something wrong with it, and there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's a natural human instinct, and she just needs to make some extra money off it. And I've met women that have respect for themselves. They have a different view, you know, about it. They don't see it as a disrespectful thing. It's just another job, you know. And if it's regulated, the good old greedy government and the politicians can make money off of it, you know, and make a little bit of tax money to help out our ailing world economies. So I think prostitution should be everywhere, you know, and women should be able to charge whatever they want, you know, if they want, and it's necessary. And not all prostitutes are drug addicts. I mean, some are just college students trying to make ends meet, you know. They're just family women trying to support their family. They're just someone that is making an underpaying job, that isn't making enough money to survive, and she's got to pay rent, and she doesn't want to be homeless, you know, so she turns to prostitution, you know. And I think it's unfair to not allow women to do this. I mean, it is their body, technically. We don't own it. The government doesn't own it. These lawyers that create these laws don't own it. It's their body. So I think women have the absolute 100% right to be a prostitute if they want. And I don't have a problem with it at all. You know, and I think these politicians and these idiots that want to run for office and these conservatives that want to just, they're afraid they'll lose their vote because I mean, they're buying the prostitutes anyways, but they're afraid they'll lose their vote if they endorse policy that allows prostitution to be legal. I mean, it's so uncapitalistic. I mean, it's communistic in a way. I mean, if you're a true capitalistic person, if you're a true capitalist, that's just another form of capitalism. To say that she cannot make money off her body, you're kind of helping out the communists, really, you know. And it will be a lot safer working conditions for her, which is important, as the woman's safety, because women are weaker than men, and they won't be put in a position that is dangerous for them because they will have a legitimate business. They can run out of their house, they can run out of a business office or whatever. And it's going on everywhere, whether you like it or not. Anyways, so you might as well just make it legal, you know? And these jealous housewives that are afraid that their husbands are going to go out and get a little because it's easier to get because it's legal, well, they're probably going to get it another way anyways, regardless, you know. So that's my take on prostitution. So I think it should be legal. And I'm not running for office, and I don't have an ulterior motive, as I don't buy prostitutes. Like I said, I have friends that do. But I think that, in all fairness, that women should have a right to sell her body safely in a controlled environment.